What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Saturday, January 20th, 2024, and we are back with another midday stream here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. But this is not just any ordinary midday stream like y'all been seeing from me for the last couple of months, probably since November. No, this is going to be a very special one. This is a very interesting one right here, and one I have been wanting to do for the last couple of days, ever since I sent this individual a DM. But before I bring them up, because they are waiting anxiously backstage, shout out to everybody who is watching. I am multi-streaming right now on YouTube, X, and on Instagram. Shout out to everybody who is watching from wherever they are. I greatly appreciate it. You are definitely in for a show today. Also, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, Instagram, in the Discord, all of that good stuff. The patrons over on Patreon, the members on here as well. Let me go ahead and acknowledge the people who are here so far, and then I will bring up today's guest. We have EJ, Denise Scales, Hacksign KT, Tia to You, RDRD, Chris Vesey, Donna C, Gene Harvey, Derek Parker, Little Lovids, Nightfall Drop, Reginald Jeter, Nita Williams, Antithesis, Opal Ivy, Zavon Scott, Q2 Wise, Mustang Crazy, The Watcher Resurrected, Gloria. And shout out to Jerry Bedford for being the first contributor today with the $10 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Roku Muro, Miriam R, Faith Speaks Life, Kid Gravity Beyond, Patricia Jones, Queen of Spades, English Overstreet, DJ Afro Elite, Just Us, Surfactant, and Miss Renee. And shout out to anyone else who's going to be coming in momentarily. So without further ado, the person I'm about to bring to the stage is definitely a major, intricate part of the new Black media. I first met this person in person during the Rally for Reparations back in 2022. You know, he's definitely a solid brother, very outspoken, very vocal. Many of you are familiar with him because if you're subscribed to me, honestly, you should be subscribed to him. And speaking of subscribe to him, I have his link pinned at the top of the chat. So make sure y'all go and hit that subscribe button because he definitely puts out great work. But this week in particular, you know how they say people have their magnum opus? I think this is his, because what he did down at that statehouse in Columbia, South Carolina this week was definitely one for the books. What a way to kick off 2024 in a major way and make some noise, which lets you know there will be some torrential style waves that will be flowing over for the rest of the year. So what a way to really lay that foundation down. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage my brother, your brother, Black Alpha Network.
Appreciate that, brother. That was like the greatest opening I ever had, brother. I appreciate that. I can say the same thing about you, though, family. Intelligent, wise, one of the main minds in this community, solid as ever. And I'm ready to chop it up with the whole family. Everybody in here certified. Salute from the Black Alpha Network. Let's go to business.
Exactly, most definitely. I'm glad that you were able to come up here today. I said when you went down to South Carolina and I saw those videos, I said I am definitely going to be sending this brother a link, or I'm going to be reaching out to him to want to have him on my platform so we could speak about this, because I've been on your channel a couple of times. It's been a while since I think you've been on mine, and I said this is the perfect opportunity right now in order to have this discussion about what happened down there, because a lot of us weren't, there. So we only saw it based on the videos. That's why I'm glad those videos even exist. Of course, we are going to be showing some of those clips today, and a special exclusive for y'all, because Black Alpha sent me some videos that he didn't even put out himself. So some of the videos y'all gonna be seeing today throughout the stream weren't even the ones that y'all saw that went viral. So y'all are going to be getting it here first. Don't you just love exclusive? But yeah, how was that? Like, what was the experience like, being down there? Like, what prompted you to go down there?
Brother, that was something out of a movie. Like, you know how we watch those movies and they have the protests and the riot? It felt like the 1960s, the documentaries that we watched from the 1960s. That's how, it kind of felt, it had that energy. But what prompted me to really go down there, the day after I got back from Atlanta, and I did that speech at the reparations task force, I got a text message from our brother Marcel Dixon. And he was like, Alpha, can you come? Can you attend to this? And it was like 2 months away damn near. And I was like, yeah, of course. I'm Mr. Everywhere. So I'm like, let's go, especially if it's in the South. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go. But I was like, we're going to have to come with the family. We're going to have to coordinate it because you're talking about Kamala Harris and the highest levels of the government. So we can't come down there on some, with our cell phones and taking pictures and stuff like that. So we was like, let's come up with a lightweight strategy that we can just get some brothers and sisters to come. And, I was really happy and proud of the turnout and that the brothers and sisters did come in big masses. But just being there, brother, it felt like we were straight out of a civil rights movie, not a reenactment, not that stuff they be doing, not that we shall ever overcome and lift every voice. It literally felt like a movie. The presence of security was high. You had every single official, the roads were blocked off. But once we all saw the family together and you start seeing faces and familiar faces, and some people I got the chance to meet the first time, then it got real. And the fact that it was the first few weeks of the year, it made it even more special, brother. So I, go ahead and shout back out to you what you said, brother. It's kind of a start off to the year.
Definitely. And then it happened on Dr. King Day, which made it even more better. Like it's almost like something just like that aura, that energy, from his presence, even though he's not physically here, just kind of like ignited something in y'all to actually be down there. Because I went to school in Columbia. I went to an HBCU. As a matter of fact, the school that I went to was not far from where y'all were at. And I remember going to that state house. Now, to map it out for you, when I went to that state house, it was a Dr. King type of program. This was back when they still had the Confederate flag up there. This was pre-Dylan Roof. So that shows you how a while back, this was back when Nikki Haley was, Nimrata. See, I'm messing up. I told people I was going into this year calling her by her real name. When Nimrata was still kind of fresh as governor for the state of South Carolina. This is back when I didn't even know what she looked like. So yeah, I remember going to the state house even then. So you said that y'all, you went down there, Marcel. Shout out to Marcel, by the way, for giving you the call to be down there, and definitely called the right person to be down there, because when I was looking at those videos, the energy level was like through the roof. It was outside of the thermostat. It was up in a way. It was unstoppable. The energy was definitely there. But of course, like in any situation, there was also met with some hurdles. Do you want to explain what those were?
Brother, where do we unpack? Okay. Soon as I literally walked up to the venue, soon as I walked up there with my wife, salute the Queen Alfred, she's watching. Soon as I walked up to the gate, I was, not confronted, but I seen a bunch of, obviously, a heavy presence of security. But then some brothers and sisters off the net was walking up to me because they had already got kicked out. And mind you, this is before it even started. So they were kicking us out before the event even started at a public venue. So brothers and sisters like, yo, we got kicked out. We got followed literally off the block. But then, brother, you see, and I'm sure we're going to touch on this, the Palestinians were just sitting there with all types of crazy signs, flags, yelling, screaming, literally yelling and screaming. And nobody said nothing. But the brothers and sisters were being kicked out already. So we meet, and there's like 15, 16 brothers and sisters out there. People came with their wives. Wives came with their husbands. And we're sitting there talking. They're kind of giving me the heads up, like, yo, Alpha, this is what happened. A lot of people I just met for the first time. So I'm dapping people up and everything. And they're like, yo, we done got kicked out. They're not letting people in with signs. They're coming up asking us, who are your group? Who's the leader? Just because we're standing together. So they knew that foundational Black American freedman energy, and they highlighted it, and then they immediately started to basically harass us from the jump, from the very jump. So you're talking about the NAACP. And then, brother, I also heard that the Secret Service said that there was really not a problem. The NAACP came above them and said, no, there is a problem. Secret Service was telling people everything's good, come on through. The NAACP will go back to the same people and say, no, everything is not okay. Y'all got to leave.
Wow, that's crazy that the Secret Service actually gave y'all the okay to be there, but it was the NAACP, who has not been for Black people in eons, was the ones that was going above them and saying that y'all had to leave. And y'all weren't even really, y'all were just there. Like, y'all weren't causing any type of problems. But I said, isn't that just crazy how just our energy of being there is a threat? Meanwhile, anybody else can be there. They can be loud. They can be boisterous. They can do whatever they want to do. And they can just do and just stay right there kind of reminds me of something that happened this month 2 years ago. Because I said, had that been us just we were just standing there right outside of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, they were like, "Oh, you gotta get them, gotta get them." But you know what it was? They probably saw those signs that said reparations, and that was the trigger. They saw reparations, and they was like, "Oh, we got to get them," because I swear that word reparations right there has become a trigger for so many people, whether it's written down on a piece of paper, whether it's on a sign, whether it's vocally said. It's like literally kryptonite to Superman. Like they immediately just start running and taking off for the hills. But you actually did, like I said, you sent me some videos. And I'm gonna play one of them right quick. Let me go ahead and share my screen right quick and pull this one up right here. And I'll play it out and you can go ahead and explain to the audience what it is. Because again, y'all, this is exclusive. These videos that I was sent, I haven't seen them. The only one who has seen them was Black Alpha. Y'all haven't seen them either.
Still with us, and on this day of remembrance, we embrace King's leadership and his call to action. The work of creating a world without racism, without poverty, and without war challenges us today to embody King's spirit of creative change. We follow when we embark on the task of loving all without reservation, something that we must practice in our daily lives. With your guidance, God of all the nations, we can overcome our tendencies to be idle.
Okay, so you have that video right there.
Oh, man. Bringing back memories from just 6 days ago, brother. I'll be damned. All right. That video right there, I want everybody to notice that they formed two walls, okay? You had the NAACP wall, you had another NAACP wall, and then you have the police. And that came after the video that a lot of people saw where they just came up and told us to leave. Now, I literally had no sign, no sign at all. I didn't even have a piece of paper saying anything. I was just sitting there on my phone recording. And the guy, Brother Torian, that was on stage, he was talking about reparations. He was literally saying, we need reparations. This country has gotten so much out of us. We haven't received nothing. So we're literally clapping to what the gentleman on stage is saying, being good participants in the event. And like you said, though, brother, being a good participant or not, that word is a trigger straight up. So they sent the people over there and they start kicking us out. But the reason I want everybody to see that is an aerial footage from the top. That was played on the news in South Carolina. And the brother sent that to me off the books from South Carolina. And if you notice, that's Sister Miss Giselle. She's holding up a sign and the sign says reparations. It's not a protest. And it's an actual Dr. Martin Luther King quote, because we were saying we're coming to get our check. So just by saying coming to get our check, which is a direct quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, which came on Dr. Martin Luther King Day. So basically we're doing everything the right, proper fashion. It was still met with that type of resistance. So if you look at all the signs and everything that pushes out, but if you look behind the gate, you see the Palestinians right there. People don't know.
Yep, I saw the flag.
You seen it, brother?
Yeah.
They had a table outside, literally a table. Like if anybody ever goes to a convention or a fair, how you have people sitting at tables and they're like vending and they're writing autographs and giving out money and all that kind of stuff. This is what they were doing. They had a seat, a chair, a table, and we're screaming. So now when we leave and we're saying reparations, the Palestinians move right on over to where we were, and they started to try to drown out our reparations call.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the video. You had showed it up on your live stream that you had did a couple days ago. But I did see that flag. That was one of the first things that I know, because it stood out like a sore thumb, like towards the end of the video, and it made me think about what they recently did when they had Biden at that church in Charleston, and they started yelling up, about free Palestine and all of that stuff right there in a historically Black church for an event that had nothing to do with that. I said that was very intentional. I said they would not have dared gone to a synagogue or a mosque or any Presbyterian church or a Catholic church, a cathedral, or anything like that that doesn't have a majority Black audience there or congregation there, and did that. That was very strategic for them to go there and do exactly what they did. Hey, Black Alpha, I think you froze. Holding on, I think Black Alpha froze on us a little bit. We having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'm sure he will get that squared away. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let Black Alpha get that squared away. Something was going on his end, and he froze a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be back in a couple of minutes. Oh, I think he's coming in now. All right, you back? You good? You good?
Yeah, you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I'm gonna bring my camera back on. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the reparations triggering the internet, brother. We don't know. Figure that out.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in my head. That's a good thing people can't read minds, because I'm literally cussing like a sailor right now in my head. I'm not saying it out loud. Like, damn, what's going on? But yeah, but back to what I was saying though. They when they did that at that church, that was very strategic. That they definitely planned that, came there and did exactly what it is that they did, just like they came there to air out their grievances at this particular event. Again, an event that is honoring the day of a Black man. All strategy, all strategic. This is not by accident. It is very intentional.
Yeah, if you're noticing, brother, they're literally following behind the Democrats everywhere they go when they're on the, basically the Chitlin circuit, trying to get our votes. Typically, we see the Democrats travel around and they tell us about hot sauce and Converse and all that. Because now, if you look behind them, when you're talking about hot sauce, the Palestinians is talking about a ceasefire. So they're literally following where we go or where they're trying to court our vote, and they're literally tethering on to what we say. So this is the tethering of our political structure from the Democratic Party and the Palestinians. And if a lot of brothers and sisters start to look at it now, like, it kind of seems strategic, because when those people interrupted Joe Biden, he responded and gave them nobody responded to us. You didn't hear nobody on the stage saying, yeah, okay, well, we're going to work on something. They didn't do that. But when it came to the Palestinians in that church, Joe Biden gave a whole campaign speech and said, I'm going to work with Israel and all that. And I didn't see somebody actually talk to a protester who interrupted them and then tell them, well, I'm going to do this for you. So,
yeah. Listen, that's why I said when he went there, that was nothing more than him. That was nothing more than a campaign speech anyway. Like, that was a campaign run anyway. Like, anytime I see him and Kamala going to especially a Black church, I said they campaigning. It's an election year. They trying to garner the votes. They know that a lot of people have backed down as far as their support for them. I don't think their support is as high as it was back in 2020. So yeah, that's pretty much all it is. That's really all it is. It's really just a campaign thing. I want you to explain now. I'm going to talk about one of the videos that did go viral. The incident inside of was that in the building or in a church?
Yeah, where they removed the brother, right?
Yes. Can you talk about that?
Oh man, that was what kind of started the day off. That kind of was like the set off, because they started off at the church with Hakeem Jeffries, and he gave a civil rights reenactment speech, and then they marched all the way to the statehouse. So that was the very beginning. And our brother EJ, who's a brother I met, he actually sent that video to me, and he was like, "Bro, can you put this out or whatever?" And he just straight up he interrupted. He was like, "No, I'm not gonna wait till the state house. We're gonna get this guy now." And if you notice, what ends up happening is he starts interrupting Hakeem Jeffries, because the guy's talking about all these things he's gonna do in a colorblind society. And then he's like, "No, what about reparations?" And he starts talking about Clyburn, because Clyburn's sitting right there. And he said, "This is one of the poorest districts." I mean, he's just giving them all the facts, and they're sitting there hearing him. And then, like always, the older, outdated people started to run interference and say, "Oh, let him talk, let him talk, let him talk." So that was the start of the energy, and then all of it shifted at the State House. So they knew, and I believe that situation is one of the other situations on why they had the NAACP waiting on us, because they was like, they got him at the church, they're gonna come get us at the State House. Let's do something about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm glad that he stood 10 toes down, like he made sure his voice was heard, because I could literally, like, watching the video, it felt like I was there. Like, I mean, the acoustics bouncing off the walls, like you could hear it everywhere. Like a deaf person probably would have faintly heard what he had to say. So definitely shout out to him. It was another video too where again, going back to the Palestinians, where they were trying to drown y'all out. Like, what about that one lady that was started to yell? Like, she got really loud.
Yeah, that was for her responding to me, brother, because I came and everybody was kind of saying reparations. I was the first one to come and literally say these people are not with us, because they want to make it on the news, brother. Look later on, like, oh, look at this solidarity protest between the Palestinians and the Black Americans, or the ceasefire people and the reparations people. So I'm out there with my phone and I'm recording and I'm saying these are not together. They're trying to drown us out. And I look and she sees me and then she starts to scream. She was like, oh no, he messing up the plan. This ain't how it's supposed to be. So she ended up just cutting me off and started screaming louder. And when she got loud, the brothers and sisters got loud. So now the real energy of they were trying to drown us out was at play, instead of the fake solidarity that they were trying to present.
Exactly. And that's exactly why they say we have no friends.
No,
I think it's pretty obvious now. You know, they were trying to get us to be on board and support one side or the other. I said, listen, we have our issues going on right here that we got to contend with. We don't have time to attach or leech ourselves to anybody else's plight. Y'all gonna have to fight that battle on your own. We still got our issues. And even if we didn't have anything on our plate, we still wouldn't go over there, because we not about to allow your problems to become our problems. Because what ends up happening is when we attach ourselves to you, you back off, and then we have to take all of the load. No, we ain't doing that no more. That's been done. That's over with. We are moved past that. So we're going to go ahead and show another video, because this is another video that you sent me, ironically, involving another woman. I'm assuming it's a different woman this time. And I played a little bit of it, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, what the hell is she talking about? So let me go ahead and close that one out and open up this one.
Of the federal budget is spent on military, policing, and prisons. Right now, we're trying to spend $13 billion, send it to a genocide in Israel, the Zionist, in a country that has free healthcare and free schooling. That money should be spent here.
How do you feel about reparations to Black Americans?
It should be spent for reparations to Black Americans.
For sure.
Their families built this country, was built on their backs, and our tax dollars are just squandered. And then they create this fake division with a two-party system. It's a one-party system. They all take money from the same people.
They don't represent any of us.
We need to work together. They try to divide us, divide and conquer. I totally agree with what you're saying.
Y'all.
All right, so elaborate on that one.
Oh, brother. They be slick. They be real slick. Because when we came in and we started talking about reparations, the first thing they tried to do was, one, drown us out. There was two sides of them, okay? You had the Palestinians, but they had two different kind of versions. And typically, this is the type of versions that you see amongst all these foreign or outside of us groups. You had the ones who try to pretend to be our friend, and then you had the ones who ain't really trying to pretend, and they just coming after us. So when we came out speaking about reparations, a whole group of them started to say, you know, ceasefire. They took the aggressive approach. And then you had the other ones who start saying, well, no. Let me maintain this friendship. And let me start talking about them. That woman was the one who's coming more deceiving. It's kind of like the overt, the covert, right? Yeah. It's the same tactics of the Democrats and the Republicans, where one says, I'm going to be your friend. One says, I'm going to be your enemy. One says, I'm going to be good cop. The other says bad cop. She was playing good cop. So she starts talking about, oh, no, we're on your side and y'all should get reparations. But liberal talking point, Democrat talking point, ceasefire. So she didn't really go into detail about this fake solidarity with us. Yeah. She started dropping a whole bunch of liberal tactics. And they don't understand is that in this generation particularly, we're very, very astute on knowing that tactic. So it doesn't necessarily work like it used to. She was faking, brother. Big.
I could hear it. And then she had a sidekick right there trying to be like basically a yes woman, agreeing with what she was saying. And I can tell when you had brought up about when you asked about what about reparations, and how she answered it and said, yes, you know, y'all deserve reparations. And it's like how she said it, and then she quickly shifted back to what her initial point was. Like, she didn't stay long on the reparations part before she went right back into talking about the ceasefire.
That's the new tactic. I always tell people the new reparations opposition is going to be the person who says he supports reparations.
Right.
You know, We've gotten so used to the people who just deny reparations, and we have literally canceled them out. We've defeated them intellectually all across the board in terms of how much money, in terms of where the money's coming from, why we deserve it. We're past that state of explaining why, what, when, and where. So they know that they've been defeated intellectually. So what people who are devious usually do, then they'll start trying to take your side against you. So it's a crazy thing. And that's where we're moving now. So a lot of these people who claim to be for reparations are still just as of an opponent as a person who says he's not for reparations.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to like trying to calm you down or telling you what you want to hear. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Like, there has to be policy in place, because action speaks louder than words. Yeah, you can say that you're for it, but I mean, anybody can say they're for something, but they don't actually mean it. You know, they, like I said, they like, and see, they think we're so dumb when it comes to this. I say, you're dealing with a new crop of people here who pretty much knows how this thing works. We know who to look to and what to listen out for. And we're not falling for the rhetoric. And a lot of times they get so upset because we don't fall for it, because for so long they put out there that we have such a low IQ, that we're so politically inept, or we should listen to everything that they say. Don't listen to that person, listen to us. And then when we don't do it, then that's when their true self comes out. Then that's when you get your Michael Crap reports. That's when you get your Juliana Margulies getting upset because we don't run out and support what's going on or on one side or the other. And then that's when they really start to show themselves. And I said, that is exactly why we didn't immediately jump to quote unquote support you. We were waiting for the real you to come out, and there it is.
Facts, brother. Big facts. I was waiting for the longest time. I've been wanting to go to one of these Palestinian protests so I can challenge the fake solidarity, and I can bring it back to the public and let everybody know that they're not real. And I know in Savannah, there was a slight opportunity, but we were kind of tied up, you know, trying to talk to Stacey Abrams, who they ran out of the place, but or rolled out of the place. So the fact that we couldn't get to Mammy Luther King, you know, I was going to talk to some of the Palestinians, but I didn't. And I know, remember, brother, when me and you spoke, I think the last time you were on my show, weren't they shutting stuff down in DC?
Yeah. Because it was so many of them out there that they had to close off so many streets. As a matter of fact, I couldn't even go to work that day because I was supposed to go to work in the evening. But the thing is, DC has so many one ways, and if you get turned around just one time, GPS be damned, you will be turned all the way around. Like, I'm telling you right now, for those of you who have never been to DC, get an Uber or a Lyft, or go with somebody who knows the infrastructure and the streets, because if you go by yourself, you will get turned around even with a GPS. They have so many detours and all of that down there, but it was so many of them out there. They had to close off so many streets. There were so many backways and detours. I said, you know what? I'm gonna just call out today. I called out and I told them why, and they accepted it, and it is what it is. But yeah, I remember that was back in, I think, November. I think it was right before Thanksgiving when that happened. But it was so many of them out there. Like, it was like if you took, I would say Obama's first inauguration and maybe cut it slightly a little over half. That's how many was out there. It was so, I think if I remember, they said it was like about 50,000 of them out there. That's when you had Van Essa Jones getting up there crying again, trying to cape for them, and they laughed his ass off that stage. They booed him. I'm like, Van, get off the stage. What are you doing? What are we doing?
He thought he was going to go cry to them. You know, I think just a couple of weeks ago, they had the March on Washington. As we talk about them tethering to the church situation and the statehouse situation, they also just had the Palestinian March on Washington. And they were, I think they were at Freedom Plaza where we had the reparations rally.
Yeah, they were. I saw that.
They had, I heard Muhammad Luther King was there. I heard Riyadh Parks was there. I heard they had a whole act like Black Americans take all of our Black American talking points, remix them, and then push your ceasefire agenda. So what we saw on Martin Luther King Day and what we saw at the church is the same thing we've been seeing all across the country, where they're acting just like us. They're following events that are made for us. They're tethering onto them. And brother, what would happen if that many Black Americans were in the streets protesting?
Oh, I'll give you one better. Remember, we didn't even make up a fraction of that when we did the rally for reparations down there in DC at Freedom Plaza back in 2022. And this was something that was put together in a couple of weeks. Of course, theirs was put together like spontaneously too, because this is coming off of the cusp of what happened the month prior. And we didn't even have that many people, and we got so much pushback because of that. We didn't even get that much media coverage. Like, for me, I'll ask anybody in the chat who's in the DMV area, did you see anywhere on NBC4, ABC7, CBS 9, or Fox 5, which are our local affiliates, did y'all see any media coverage of that? Because I can look around, and because you was there, we could look around the perimeter, and we didn't see not one media van, not one news crew, none of that. I think Revolt was out there.
Right.
Because they had, Revolt was out there because they had interviewed me. They interviewed also Afro Elite. I don't know if they interviewed you, but I know they interviewed us too. But as far as those other local affiliates, they were not there.
How sad is that, brother? And you know, these Palestinians be crawling up stuff, tearing down monuments, screaming. They call the president genocide Joe. You know, we would never be able to have that type of rate. They want us to damn near say his first, middle, or last, or we gonna get in trouble for it. So you see this madness going on. So it lets you know that the Democrats are willing to placate with these people, and in a lot of cases, probably even work in conjunction with them, so they can try to drown us out politically and socially.
Right. And then, of course, if you know, like down the street from Freedom Plaza, going to the left, depending on what side you're standing on, is the Capitol. And you know what happened the year prior, over a year and a half prior to that, down there.
Ooh.
Now, of course, you know that had to make world news.
Right.
But again, we just out there doing our thing, not bothering nobody. People want to come bother us. Other people can go ahead and do whatever it is they want to do, and then say that they were just going touring.
Ain't that so
amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. Okay, Gravity said BBC did a story about when we were out there. Now, isn't that amazing? BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, a media outlet that's not even here, talked about us over there.
Oh man!
You couldn't even have an American media outlet talk about something that happened in America. Amazing.
Had to go across the pond.
Exactly. Now, you did send me one other video. Now, this video is a little bit longer than the previous two, so I'm gonna go ahead now and share this with the audience, and then you can go ahead and explain what's going on with that.
Tell me about it, brother. Tell me about it.
Before she get on, they don't want her to see that.
No reason at all.
Let's keep that a buck. Yeah.
There you go.
Vote while you're doing that, baby. Y'all got y'all. Show your vote.
Vote.
Show your vote in a play. And y'all don't
we vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote.
They get no tangible, we ain't vote. Ain't that right, so?
No tangible, no vote.
Say it with me. No tangible, no vote.
There you go.
No tangible, no vote.
No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote.
No tangibles, no vote.
No tangibles, no vote.
FBA.
No vote.
No tangibles, no vote.
Freeman.
No tangibles, no vote.
No vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No tangibles. Look at this president, y'all. Look at this. Black Alpha Network, we out here.
We are going you look the shit up yourself.
Let me see that. Speak that. That right there is why.
But they got Palestine out here. They ain't gonna no Jewish events in December. They got our events. We go into that store and put our heads there. And we put our money into that fucking pocket. We put our money into their pockets. Y'all remember that when your baby's just sitting on the table having to get a diabetes shot? Heart disease. But they gonna put us up for reparations?
Look at these.
The repair of our people? What are we doing? Why are we here? Are we
Woo-hoo.
That was intense. That was very intense. And shout out to Giselle. That was the young, for those of y'all don't know, she was the young lady at the end holding up the sign.
Oh. That was hot, brother. That right there, family. Nobody's seen that footage. I haven't put that out. Nobody's seen that footage. That's like the first time, and I'm glad because now we get a chance to see beyond them kicking us out the process of it. And you notice all of the bootlicks that were wearing the orange vests. You know what I mean? Then you see one or two. There wasn't a lot of the Secret Service people. It was mostly a lot of the bootlicks who were either working the event, the NAACP. It was majority getting kicked out by other black people, to be honest with you. So that situation was live. And notice again, her sign simply said reparations now, and the guy on the stage was saying that we deserve reparations. So we're in conjunction with what the gentleman is saying. And as we got pushed back further, you start to slowly hear those ceasefire now chants as we exited the place. They was waiting for us to come out so they can get over us, family.
Yeah. Like I said, y'all brought a different type of energy there that they weren't expecting. And the thing is, y'all were probably in the minority. It was probably not even that many of y'all compared to them.
Yeah. I think there was probably I think Marcel did a count, an unofficial count. I think we only had like 41, 42 people. And then the rest were NAACP, COONs. And then you had some of the Palestinians, but there weren't a lot. And the thing that I wanted everybody to see on that, family, and me and our brother Torian spoke about this. Did y'all see the lady saying, and go vote while y'all do it? They never cease an opportunity to not try to get us to vote. We're literally getting kicked out for saying reparations. And then she was being smug too. She's like, yeah, go vote while you do it. And that's what I wanted everybody to see, the fact that this new era, as you allude to, brother, is being pushed out for speaking on reparations and standing on B1 business. And then you seen the older era telling us to go vote. And she was proud too. And then she did it and then just turned around and didn't even pass no never mind. So she knew what she was doing. That's why we broke out into the no tangibles, no vote. And I wanted that to be captured because this all boils down to election season. This all boils down to reparations and tangibles. And are we going to continue to vote blue no matter who? Or is that new wave going to come in and start really voting or non-voting based on our own interests? So that was that clash that we hear a lot of times on the internet, but it actually took place in real life.
Right. And I'm not even going to lie to you. When y'all started chanting no tangibles, no vote, I don't know why, but a beat just kind of popped up in my head. I said, somebody going to get a hold of that and they're going to throw a beat behind that. They might as well. How many years have we had to deal with get your booty to the polls?
Right.
No voting, no bucking. And what was that? I forgot. It was another one they did, some other random one they did. Throw a beat behind that.
It was a DAX that thing up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one. That was the other one. I said, throw a beat behind this, the no tangibles, no vote, and see how far that goes. I bet you it'll probably run laps around those other three.
Oh, soundtrack to the movement.
Exactly. And then that'll be perfect. I said that'll be, like drop it, here and there, but definitely when it gets closer and closer to the election, definitely have that thing bumping.
Oh, you got one with that one, brother. Hold up. I might have to do it myself, man.
Exactly, most definitely. But yeah, that energy out there was definitely felt. Like, you can definitely see it. And I'm glad you sent me those videos again. For those of you who are watching in the chat, we got 355 watching right now on YouTube. I don't know what the numbers are in the other places, but shout out to y'all as well. Y'all saw something for the first time ever before anybody else did. I don't know if Black Alpha's gonna put the video out there. He might, I'm not sure, but y'all saw it here first.
Yeah, that's all exclusive, brother. All exclusive because there was so much footage that was taken, and I was like, this would be perfect to air on our brother Torians because I was really ready to hear your opinion on it too, brother. I was like, oh man, I got to hear what Torians say, man. I cannot wait to hear your perspective, because a lot of things that we talk about, we're starting to see it in real time. And one thing I wanted to tell the family is that was a victory. We're really starting off the year really with a victory. When was the last time we seen an MLK Day where that energy was out there? It's no coincidence that we can't.
I couldn't even call it, and it doesn't have to be in South Carolina. I mean, that could be anywhere. If you notice, I don't know if you picked this up or not. Have you noticed a lot of the people, the usual suspects, PC as I like to call them, have been really, really having a lot of animosity towards Dr. King lately? Ooh. I talked about that in my live stream on Monday.
I seen it.
A lot of them who claim that they love Dr. King so much now have this animus for him that just came out of nowhere. I mean, you could think of every name in the book that they called him. They call him a Zionist, a communist, an adulterer, all this, that, and the third. And I said, you know what? It doesn't surprise me because if you look at his approval ratings back in the day, mainly when their grandparents were probably around their age, they had the same animus towards him then. Rating numbers was very, very low back when he was alive. Then all of a sudden, when Ronald Reagan made it into a holiday, because I guess they felt that was their way of, trying to smooth everything over. Not that did much. Now everybody likes him again. But then you notice that his family went and sued the government in 99 and 1. That's why I said in my live stream that was very rare that something like that could happen where you could sue the government and win. And then this was a black family that did it.
Brother, that's a great point. I'm so glad you said that. And I did watch your live, brother. And I was thinking that. I was like, that's a great point. The reclaiming of Dr. Martin Luther King has rehashed a lot of the animosity and the spite that they had for him. I would tell you have Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who's us, and then you have token Luther King and white and Luther King, which is what you were saying with the Ronald Reagan when they created him to use him against us. And we have, in this era, reclaimed the real Martin Luther King. When was the last time you heard someone from the dominant society, brother, say, what would Martin do? Or Martin had a dream to calm us down. They ran that for 30 years? They can't do that.
They ran it for a long, long time. But now, like I said, now, especially this year, they really are showing what they really feel. And I think another thing that happened too is because now that clip of him saying we're coming to get our check has been circulating so much more now. That clip, it's like when it showed up, when you first saw it, you probably saw it one time and you didn't see it again. But now you're seeing it so often now that people are like, what imagery of Dr. King did you share with us over the years? And why didn't we see this version? And why is it that after this version, shortly after, he's out of there, he's gone? I think after also too, when he was saying I feared that I integrated my people into a burning house is another one. And then that coming to get the check was the one following it. And then people was like, now people are going to gravitate towards them. They're starting to wake up from the spell that we put them under. Well, guess what? Not all of us was under your little spell, to be quite honest with you. You were spinning that cauldron for nothing. But, so, it is what it is. And that's what they hate. So now what do? Let's just throw a whole bunch of dirt. That's why I can't stand Charlie Kirk. I didn't even want to bring. That's why I didn't even want to bring him up because he said on Dr. King Day, I'm gonna release some dirt on him. I'm like, who are you working for? TMZ? I'm like, what dirt do you have? And I'm trying to figure out like, what did you release? I didn't look to see what kind of dirt he had on him. I'm like, it's probably nothing new or nothing that we haven't already heard that hasn't even been backed up with facts. What you gonna say? That he cheated on his wife? Okay.
Yeah, like the same slander that we're aware of. Yeah. By the way, Charlie Kirk, he be getting you like John Lewis be getting me, brother. I keep telling myself I need to try to stay away from him, but my God, he did something yesterday. He did something yesterday. I don't know if you saw it.
But he posted up, he was talking, because they were talking about, the Super Bowl and everything like that, and how they have black performers will do like lift every voice and sing before the national anthem. And he got so upset by that, and then had the nerve to try to say there is only one national anthem. Why does there have to be a black national anthem? And then after he wrote all of his little minstrel rant, guess what he did? He posted up the video of Whitney Houston singing the national anthem.
This man, though, but he reaching, boy, ain't he? Oh, he reaching.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, he's striking out. How about that one? That's the better one.
He's crashing out big time. Shout out to Kid Gravity, because he said this is the year when the grift is over.
Yeah,
it is over. For many of them, it already started last year, but this year the grift, like, they are crashing out hard.
Yeah,
but like I said, notice they picked that day to want to say, oh, I'm gonna release this about Dr. King, or I'm gonna say this about Dr. King, and all this, that, and the third. I said, we keeping tabs on that because y'all love to talk ill about our people on days that are representative of them, whether we acknowledge it today or not. It is what it is. Because they did the same thing with Juneteenth. Ironically, again, Charlie Kirk, he said, how are we going to celebrate Juneteenth? Because Juneteenth is going to take over 4th of July. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. Oh, God. He did. And he was on that fear mongering, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He said, why can't we just, acknowledge it, in September? I said, what does Juneteenth have to do with September?
What? What?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Crashing all the way out, brother. All the way.
Yeah. But But I said we will keep that in mind when certain days come up for y'all, or days that y'all don't remember, because it's a day or a couple of days in February, and I'm not talking about President's Day or Valentine's Day that are coming up that I know some of them don't want to remember, but it does have something to do with something that happened back in 2013 out in California.
Ooh, that'd be the day.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
Okay.
Yep.
I make sure to acknowledge that day every year. I make sure to acknowledge that's a day that's a day that's going to remain in infamy for them. They do not want to remember that day or those series of days, I should say.
Them wounds ain't never gonna heal.
Oh, definitely not. It'll be 11 years.
Oh, damn.
I know, that's crazy how fast time flies.
Ooh,
I remember when it happened. I read his whole manifesto.
Damn.
I read his whole manifesto.
Damn, 11 years?
It'll be 11 years.
Man. That's the thing, though, brother. You're right. Like, I love that approach, family, because it's y'all want to take things that belong to us and either give them away or slander them. I mean, come on, slander Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Like, after y'all loved the man, after you got rid of him, they done loved him. Yeah, quote unquote, canceled him, took him out, assassinated him, brought him back, whitened him up, gave him to us, token. Now they want him back again. And another thing, brother, now that we bring that up about how this new sudden wave of attacks on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., remember that lady about a month ago that tried to burn down his house?
Yeah.
That was another situation. It's just, odd to me that we never seen any of that when Dr. Martin Luther King was being used as a weapon against us. Soon as, like you said, we find the integration quote that he made, and then when we find the coming to get our check quote, now all of a sudden you're seeing gasoline and kerosene at his house, and you're seeing people like Charlie Kirk saying that he's going to bring slander and smear tactics against our brothers. So it shows you that us reclaiming our foundational Black American freedmen legends is just as triggering as us saying we're coming to get our reparations. And then when that foundational Black American freedmen legend said that he wants reparations and we're bringing that to the forefront, then they get double mad. So I like it. Let's keep them mad.
Yeah.
Let's keep
and that's exactly why I'm so glad when you have people like, Professor Black Truth every year at the end of December and the beginning of January, he always does a moment of truth video on our master teachers to acknowledge their days. He does it every single year. That's a consistent video or address that you're going to get every single year. And it's good that he does that because they don't get talked about. It's like they're like unsung heroes. They get like kind of swept under. So you really don't remember exactly who they are. And one thing I keep always telling people, make sure that you, if you have not done so already, to read the Black Bible, aka the ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, one of our Queen Mothers who's gone to glory, because everything she said in that book way back then, before many of us were even born, has come to fruition in the last 20 or 30 years, maybe even further than that, especially in present day. And I'm like, I'm literally sitting there listening, and well, not listening, but reading a chapter a day. It took me about a good month to get to that whole book, and it was well worth it. And I'm reading it, I'm digesting it, I'm retaining everything that this woman is saying, and I'm like, wow. It was a couple times where I had to pause in the middle of chapters to say, wow, I just saw that last week. What she said in this book years ago, I saw that last week, or I saw that maybe last year. And it's like, wow, she called it right down the middle, and they hated her for that. They hated her for that, because it's like, because they were saying she's revealing all of our secrets.
Yep.
She is revealing all of our secrets to the people we've been trying to keep this hidden from for so long. That one about the gun. Oh man, listen. That part about the gun. Wow.
You're putting all the things that they try to hide on the forefront. And you know what really irritates them, ticks them off, and pisses them off is they know that when she wrote that, there was going to be a Torian Reigns in the future. There was going to be a Black Alpha Network in the future. There was going to be an Afro Elite in the future that was going to read that and then learn from it and then translate that into reality, translate that into power. So as Tupac said, you think I'm bad, wait till you see this next guy. And then that's how they always kind of feel. Like, as you had the Dr. Frances Cress Welsings, now they're looking back like, okay, now look at the people that she's spread her message to. Now they're becoming grown people, and they're going to become grown. So that's what we do. We multiply. And they hate the people that multiply, and we do it all the time.
Exactly. Because now it's like, now it's up to us to share the knowledge that was bestowed on us to the next generation, and to keep the cycle going no matter what, because they will try their hardest to stop us in our tracks. But the thing is, we got to be a fortress and keep it moving and keep it going. Because nothing we are in the trenches now. There's no stopping. There is no turning back. What did Harriet do? She tried to free as many people as she possibly could. But if they ever decided to want to go back, she had to take them out. Even if they were a friend, associate, or even a family member, because she was not about to allow her journey to just be squandered because you were scared. And she couldn't allow you to live. That's just what it is. It was probably something it was hard for her to do. But I'm sure after she got over maybe a couple of deletions, she got used to it by then. And by that point, people already knew she stood on business.
Yeah, what's it? We don't run, we don't hide. We stand on business and we multiply. That's what it is.
Exactly. Most definitely. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, does anybody in the chat have any questions for Black Alpha? Because I think we pretty much already discussed all that we can. What I'll probably do, you know what I'm gonna do? I was wondering if I was gonna do this or not. But what I'll do is I will drop the link in the chat. We'll do it just like how I usually do. I'll bring people up one by one. That way, if y'all had a question for Black Alpha, feel free to go ahead and do so. If y'all are on X or on Instagram and would like to come over and ask a question, then y'all have to come over to YouTube in order to do that. But the link is right there in the chat. If anybody would like to come up and ask Black Alpha or even myself a question, feel free to go ahead and do so. Y'all know this does not happen often, so this is the time to go ahead and do it. So the first person we got up here is Blueberry Muffin. What's going on?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Torian Rain, good morning. Black Alpha, Queen Alpha, everybody in the chat and online. Man, I used to live in Columbia, South Carolina, okay? And some of the folks at that church, I can tell you anything you need to know, especially about those folks that put you guys out. They did not want any of the younger Black folks, basically anybody under the age of 60, pulling out all of Dr. King's videos and other messages that debunks the Democrat shill line. Okay, they did not want anybody bringing up the "we're coming to get our checks." They did not want anybody getting a hold of that, because that means the Democrat donkey platform is done. Okay, they did not want anybody bringing up the video or the audio recording about his speech talking about the burning house. That is a very famous speech that is studied in history and political science classes. I don't know if you guys know about that, but when I came through the university system, they talked about that speech. We actually got a hold of some of the elders who actually, when they were young people, they listened to his burning house speech. And it was basically calling out these so-called liberals, northern liberals, so-called allies. Dr. King called them out for who they were and what they were doing. And you know something? That is the disinfectant, all right, that cleans up all of this bull crap that's been going on, and how they've been taking Dr. King out of context, whitewashing him, and throwing them back in our faces. Now, I'm glad that both you, Torian Rain, and Black Alpha, and everybody else, especially Miss Giselle, has been putting Dr. King's actual quotes out there so these folks can shut the hell up and stop trying to hoot us down with our heroes we know best. And I'm glad Black Alpha brought up this point, and Torian, you brought it home in your live cast, as well as Professor Black Truth, about how these other groups think that we're dumb, we're illiterate and uneducated. That rankles my nerves, because when I was chatting with some of the brothers and sisters in the chat, I was telling them, you know, I have gone to Palestinian protests, and you show your black ass up at any of their protests, all of that hatred, all of that anti-black venom comes all the way out. Like brother Black Alpha said, and a couple other people said, you know, they tried the good cop, bad cop nonsense with us, thinking that we're going to fall for the hokey doke. No, we don't. Any educated black person will come and challenge them, especially me, because I just hit them back with the truth by telling them, well, first of all, you guys will get policies created for you. That's been going on for 53 years now. Palestinians can lobby their congressional representatives, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whomever's in Congress, will create policies specifically for you guys. You don't need to tether on to us. We're not your mules. We're not, in the words of the illustrious James Baldwin, we are not your niggers.
Exactly. Definitely.
Good
You got
point.
you got anything else?
That's all I gotta say. Y'all keep putting them boots to asses. You guys, Black Alpha and the elder that you had on there, I forgot the brother's name. Let me tell you something. Columbia was shook. The last time Columbia, South Carolina had that amount of smoke was when General Sherman came through there and burned the city down. All right. Peace and blessings to everyone.
B1.
Much
Shout out
respect,
to
Phil.
Blueberry Muffin for coming up. Next up, we got Wallow J. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Torian? What's going on, Black Alpha? All I wanted to say is I appreciate both of you guys. You know, I'm at work right now listening to the interview, so all I can keep it brief. Keep doing what you're doing. I always have y'all backs. Always make sure y'all got, you know, if you go out there on Alpha, make sure you got your power tool with you. That's all I can say with you.
Thank you, my brother.
Definitely.
So B1, I'm out, y'all.
All right, B1.
Appreciate you, family.
All right, shout out to Wallow J. Next up, we got Marvin C. What's going on?
Good morning, Torian. Good morning, Black Alpha. Or I'm on the West Coast, so good afternoon to y'all.
I kind of figured that. I kind of figured you had to be on the West Coast when you said that.
Hey, so I saw most of the live stream that you have put out, Black Alpha, when you was in Colombia. Now, I have followed Marcel on previous accounts on, you know, when Twitter used to be called actually Twitter, right? And Marcel has long said that Clyburn got his family in the Democratic machine within specific areas in South Carolina. So basically the question is, I mean, so from the live stream that y'all had, obviously NAACP was throwing shade, and then all the protesters and all that shit, but were y'all able to see anyone specifically within the clan, the Clyburn clan? Because my opinion is that the whole heat that y'all got, because I remember when Marcel posted and said, yo, they having this go down in Columbia. If you can make it, come. And you know, the little beef between Clyburn and his minions and Marcel. So I always thought that it was a Clyburn ran op from the giddy up, and they was kind of looking out for you because of that. And so my question basically is, were y'all able to kind of pinpoint or see anybody directly related with Clyburn there? And that's it. And I'm see the rest of my time. Peace to both y'all brothers.
Much respect, brother. Much respect. Good question, brother. I'm glad you asked that question too, family, because yes, there were some recognizable faces that after we compiled all the footage and we literally combed through the footage, we started to see some people who are from that local NAACP chapter who we have strong suspicions are tied into Clyburn. We also seen some very odd people that were there that some of the brothers and sisters were saying to kind of look out for. Some of these people were kind of just floating around, strange things. One thing y'all know about our lineage, we recognize an unrecognizable person, right? If the face is unidentifiable, we're going to see him. So we seen a couple people that were kind of strange and we weren't really sure, but we got good footage of kind of keeping an eye on them. And then we did see some of those folks from the Clyburn camp. And you're right, they're littered all throughout there doing all the gatekeeping. All Clyburn is the gatekeeper for W supremacy in the Democratic Party right there in South Carolina. So basically, like you're saying, brother, you can't go nowhere in South Carolina without running into one of his minions. And we do got some footage of a couple of them, and they was floating around. I don't think that they know that we seen them, but that's okay. They can think whatever they want, but we had them highlighted and spotlighted. And this is why we're gonna take some action on some of these people so we can prove what we all know is that was a deliberate situation. So yeah, brother, we spotted them out and we got them on that big screen. And once you're on the big screen, you can't get off.
Right there on the Summer Jam screen.
Yes.
All right, next up we got Gene. What's going on?
What's up, two of my favorite brothers?
What's up, brother?
So I guess this will be a dual question for y'all. The next reparations rally, would you two brothers be there as speakers?
As you
don't laugh, Alpha Black. You know I've been asking this for a minute now.
I mean, like if they extended the olive branch for me to do it, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead. I was about to say something to you.
I'm all 100% for it, because y'all know if I get on the stage, I'm gonna shut it down. Straight pit bull. And actually, my name has came up when our good brother had spoke about people that the Black grassroots wanted to see on stage. And whenever he would bring it up, I would literally see his chat to say Black Alpha, Black Alpha, Black Alpha, Black Alpha, Black Alpha. I would see Torian Rain, and Afro Elite.
I was just about to say Afro too.
Yeah, so our names have come up a couple times. I think he mentioned our names a few times on his broadcast, and I just appreciate the fact is that when he says, because Tariq's a very, very, very good brother, and I appreciate Tariq for all the things he's done for me. And when he brought up that, and he said, do we know anybody who's the young people who want to represent the new wave? I believe me, Tori, and Afro is sitting on the top of that new wave right now. And,
you brothers got to. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you three brothers got to be at the top of that list.
Thank you,
y'all
brother.
Put it down like
Appreciate
no other. I'm just being honest with y'all.
Thank you, brother. That means a lot. I would say this to everybody out there. We humble. I'm humble at times. When I want to on the weekends. So when I'm not wilding out, man, I try to be humble, man. So I would say this to everybody. Anytime our brother makes a suggestion or a question about who the people would like, just go ahead and throw them 3 names in the chat, man. And Tariq's a person of the people, and I know he'll respond. So yeah, definitely, man. Hopefully that pops off, and we look forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect him to try to get Jason Black and Professor Truth, but they not too. They're not those kind of people that stand in front of the crowd. However, I think Jason Black will, but we can at least get Professor Truth on a, you know, what they on a streaming call or something in that nature.
Right. That's a good idea, brother.
But that's all I have for you, brothers, man. Much love. Keep up the good work, brothers. I love y'all.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, family.
All right, next up we got Miss Nisi. What's going on?
Afternoon, Torian, Black Alpha. Just a quick statement. FBA, hold the line. Reparations now. Boots the asses 2024. I'm out.
Peace.
All day.
I like when Denise comes up, like straight to the point. All right, next up we got Goddess Miriam. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Salute to you. Salute to you, brother Torian. Salute to you, brother Black Alpha. Wonderful hearing and seeing you both, family. Salute to brother Marcel as well as sister, Miss G. Y'all was out there. You held it down. I expected nothing less, along with so many other of our brothers and sisters in the grassroots, the Black grassroots movement, and those who are truly true at heart and not, going around out here with the cliques that are running around out here who like, if I like you, you like them, or I'm not cool with you if you don't like them. You focus on reparations. You focus on making change for our people. You're focused on getting the job done and pushing policies through. And you're focused on meeting our oppositions face, head on, face to face, when they are out there trying to push propaganda and push their erasure agendas against us and tether on to our reparations movement. And the fact that we still haven't got our tangibles, that's why they're getting no vote if they don't give us our tangibles. And we need that reparations right now over immigration and mass. We need massive deportation. We're not playing. We need our protections. We are the people who created this country. We are foundational Black Americans, and we put in our business as freedmen, so we understand that, and we have to move one accord. We have to get in both, not only just stay in our militant mindset, but also be, political and stay morally put. You know what I'm saying? Stay steadfast, and we will hold the line. We need our reparations, and we need it now. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, he said, "We're coming to Washington to get our check." And as Sister Blueberry Muffin just stated up there, they never want you to know about the burning house speech that he did. That is the one right after I have a dream, because he was like, "I'm afraid that I may have sold our people into a burning building." Understand what he meant by that, and the fact that that is so wide and so deep, that scope, that's for another discussion for us all to have, because that is really a deep speech. And I'm gonna see if I could contact one of our elders to get it, so that we can be able to play excerpts and things of that nature. And I'll hit your beautiful lovely wife, shout out to her, because as we say, there's no Black Alpha without our Queen Alpha. So, we love and respect you, brother. And I always come up to give you all your flowers, because I love what you do. And we have to put that in now. And that's our 3 pillars of the next leg of younger master teachers would put it. The ones who done came now, who is, holding stead the fort for our Dr. Claude Anderson, for our beautiful Mother Queen Goddess, may she rest in power, Dr. Francis Quest Welsing, and for Dr. John Henry Clark, and all the other greats who have came before us. We have our 3 great pillars. We have Tariq Nasheed. We have our brother Jason Black. We have our brother Professor Black Truth. And we have our secondary line of young master teachers, our little scholars who getting it in right now and still learning, which is yourself, brother Black Alfred, which is yourself, brother Torian Rain, which is yourself, brother Afro Elite, which is yourself, even our other sisters and stuff who are upholding and putting in the work. always give our love and respect, because we need that. We need our encouragement. We need our strength. We need our positivity, along with that discipline, along with that vetting, and along with that G-check. And you know we get it in, regulate. Love you, brothers.
Love you too, sister.
Appreciate you coming up. Appreciate you coming up. And I think that was the last person right there, because nobody else came up after it. But yeah, Black Alpha, this was definitely a good show, a good broadcast, a good address stream, however anybody out there wants to put it. I'm so glad that you agreed to come up here when I sent the link out. I kind of had no doubt that you would, but anything can happen. It is a Saturday, and it's early Saturday afternoon at that. And you could be anywhere doing anything right now, but we are on here right now. And it actually 400 people in here on a Saturday afternoon. That says a lot. But definitely shout out to you for coming through. Also, I pinned the link to your channel at the top of the chat. So if anybody, not if anybody, I'm making it a demand. Click that link right now and go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He does weekly live streams, and I'm telling you, he was tamed today, y'all. For those of y'all who are not familiar with Black Alpha, he was tamed today because he was on my platform. I would have let it rip if he really wanted to, but on his channel, he is like over like Vegeta said, he's over 9,000. So if anybody's familiar with him, can vouch for me and him when I said it. But if you are unfamiliar, just go listen to a playback and you can see how turned up he is. How he is online is how he is offline. Trust me, I've met him in person twice, at the Rally for Reparations in DC, and then again at the Expo in Dallas last year. And I'm sure when they have the rally again, that's when we're going to meet up again. We were supposed to do that podcast, but I was unavailable. So, but it is what it is. But, is there anything else you would like to tell the family?
Appreciate that, first off, family. And also, I got to tell everybody, it's my brother, Torian Reigns, right there. He gave me and my wife the directions to the White House, brother, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah. I remember you had asked me, you said, you was like, Torian, you like, where's the White House? I said, oh, you're not even far. It was like a 7-minute walk. I said, just go back that way. and y'all found it.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, brother. I was zig, and I got there, and he gave us the right directions, family. We didn't end up at the state capitol building, okay? He got us to the White House, man.
Exactly.
I always appreciate that, man. But that's my brother right here, man. You guys always know that. Definitely his Fight Back series. Remember, I asked you about that in Dallas.
Yes, I actually meant to tell. I wanted to tell the people that, like, for those of y'all who didn't know, when I had told people, when I had announced that I was doing this series, I had told people that I had only told one person that I was going to do this series, but I never told y'all who it was. Black Alpha was that person, and I told him during the expo. So he knew about the series way before anybody else did. He had no idea what the series was really going to be so much about. He didn't know what locations it was going to be, so but he was the first person and only person I told that I was going to do this series called the We Fought Back series. And this was when I was still doing the ongoing Black Massacre series. That was still ongoing. It wasn't complete yet. It wasn't complete for like another month and a half to 2 months. And I had told him that, he said, I won't tell anybody. He kept his word. But I know, like, you was itching for me to finally say or finally announce it. I said, well, there it is. So, yeah, Black Alpha was the only person I told about the series back in May that I was doing this. I don't know what made me want to tell him that. I think you would ask me, was like what other series did I have going on? And I just flat out told him, because I was really holding it close to the chest. Because I think some other people might have asked me too, but I didn't tell them. But for some reason, I felt compelled to tell you. I don't know why, but, it happened. It is what it is.
Man, brother, I was patiently waiting. I couldn't wait till it came out. I told our brother Torian Reigns, same way I tell everybody, it's absolutely riveting. It is Oscar worthy, okay? If there was an Oscars for Black empowerment, he'd sweep the awards. I'm telling y'all, man, it is that riveting. I know a lot of y'all done already seen it, but I'm telling you, watch it and watch it again. And here's another thing. Sit down and watch it with young folks. Watch it with young folks. I'm going to watch it with my niece, man. We're going to pull up and watch it. It's that riveting for the older people, for the younger people, for the, past, present, and the future, brother. So it's that amazing, man. But I appreciate you, brother, having me on. I just want to tell the family that Martin Luther King Day was the first of many. This is a new generation. This is a new wave, a new time, and we're coming with a whole different vibe, and we're going to continue to do it. So as we have all these people that are willing to tell us how bad things are, that's something that we can look forward to and see that things are moving in the right direction, and we are speaking truth to power, and we are getting some receipts back for the energy that we put in, man. So I appreciate you for having me through. I appreciate everybody else, man. This ain't gonna be the last. I know Roland Martin's been silent on this situation. I know Vanessa Jones been silent on this situation. Benjamin Crump has been very silent because he runs around all the time, talks about civil rights, and our civil rights were violated where we were exercising the constitutional right. So all of those people are going to find out the hard way that when foundational Black American freedom put our mind and energy on something, we're going to get our way whether they like it or not. So I appreciate you for having me on. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm just happy, man. So
yeah, most definitely.
We're one tonight, man. Let us be one in the future, family.
And one last thing I have to say, because I meant to do it in my live stream yesterday, but I completely forgot. I actually posted it up on my community tab, but I hope Sage is still in the chat. Brother Sage, him and his group called Aces dropped their album Shades of Black yesterday. I listened to the whole album when I was at the gym. I'm telling you, if y'all like that old school 90s hip hop, y'all are going to get exactly that on all 9 tracks. So if you have Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere else you can stream music from, make sure y'all go and y'all download the album called Shades of Black by Aces. It is spelled ASIS. As a matter of fact, let me type it in the chat so y'all can go and find it. And I'm telling you, y'all are going to enjoy that album. Like, I was literally just sitting there just vibing. You bring me in with the beat, and that's it. And it's crazy because I remember when I had them on to promote their first single, I said y'all could have dropped any other song as a single and I would have been wrapped up either way. I said the single y'all had dropped first. Now that was a tease. Y'all not ready for the other 8 songs. Trust me. So definitely go and download that album right now. And with that being said, me and Black Alpha is signing out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe and be one.